on a program that people will pay for. I put my name, Audacious. We did the first one. 54 people were gathered. It was okay. It was for test. 2019, I moved into a bigger hall. That is the ground ballroom of a hotel. I spent money, all the money that people paid to attend. I spent it on the program. We were just left with about 1 or 2 million naira profit. My people were surprised. Why are you doing this? I said, don't worry. Every money that they are paying, just spend it. Put it back into the program. And then the first day went. People came and said, wow, 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 wow. The second day I stood on the stage. And I said, guys, I have a program for you. It's first of its kind. It's my premium program. I've never done something like this before. At that time that I was talking, my staff told me don't announce it. You know why they said don't announce it? They said because if they ask us, what will they get? That we have not articulated it. We have not strategized to know what they will get. What if they ask us questions? I said, don't worry. I'm coming with an energy. Let me just test it. If I fail, no problem. Somebody who wants to change his game also is not afraid of failure. You're not afraid of failure. So I got up there. I said, you know what? He said, no one. Now this program is 10,000 US dollars. At that time, it was 3.6 million naira. I said, if you go right now, I'm giving you a discount of 1 million naira. Every of my staff, their mouth were in their hands, or their hand in their mouth, say, hey, how would this happen? Guess what happened? The energy was so strong that one of the participants, his wife, went there and wrote down his name. Said, I don't care where my husband will get this money from. He must be here. That was the game changer. That was the game changer. And then we took them to Dubai, 2020. Every money that came in, thousands of dollars, I think it was $2,000 or $3,000 then. Every money that came in, I sank it back into the program. As the profit was coming, at the point in time, my staff were hiding the profit from me. Because once I see it, I say, what else can we add? What else can we add? What else can we add? Okay, let's put everybody on the boat. We went on the yacht. And then after we came back, there was still money. I said, what can we add? What can we add? Okay, we are in Dubai. Let us go to Abu Dhabi. Get me buses. I want to take them on a trip to Abu Dhabi. People were wondering, keep this money. I said, no, you guys don't understand. This thing has to be bigger than what they expect. If not, you cannot change your game. So we went from there, Abu Dhabi, we went everything, we enjoyed ourselves. When we came back, attendance of the program, people who subscribed, skyrocketed to almost ×2. Now it was no more 10,000 US dollars. It was now 20,000 US dollars. It was easy because the energy was oozing out. It was oozing out. And then one thing you also need to realize is that once you want to attract this 1% of the people that we are talking about, you must watch your language. There is the language of the high net worth individual. There is the language of the ultra high net worth individual. You don't beg when you're there. You don't look desperate when you're there. You don't force your sales. If they don't get it now, I will come through another means. I will keep talking to them. No, you lose them. You lose them. You give them time to process it. You give them time to think about it. You know, when I was 48 or 49, one of them told me, that I want to give you a gift of a wristwatch. And I made the mistake of saying, that gift you want to give me, I don't need it. Why not just convert the money and give me the money so that I don't, because I know it's millions of naira. You know what the guy said? A very young guy to me. The guy who looked up to me. He may be a multi-billionaire. We know what he said. He said, "You are not serious, sir." He laughed at it. I didn't see that wristwatch at 48. I didn't see it at 49. And because I knew the language, I didn't go back to him and say, "Oh boy, where's the gift now? You have promised me this, you have this and that." He would run away from me. So what I did was my 50th, and I organized it in a way that blew everybody's mind. He was not in Nigeria. He watched the video in Dubai and then called me. He said, sir, guess what? Showed me my wristwatch, a Rolex. He said, "I bought your wristwatch." Why? I presented to him that I'm not a desperate person. I presented to him that, you know what? I won't beg you for this. When you meet people at the top, the way you talk is very, very important. If you sound beggarly, you know, you may not be begging, but sound beggarly. You may be sounding beggarly. You're not saying, "Give me this, give me that." Say, "No, you know, this thing is a serious matter." Anytime you are sharing your problem with people at the top, you are sounding beggarly. Anytime you are sharing your challenges with the people at the top, you are sounding as if you need their help. They don't help you if you need their help. Look, nobody will help you until they know it is popular to help you. Nobody will help you until they know it is popular to help you. So what you need to do is to increase your popularity. And then they will start coming in one by one. One by one. My birthday, cows, checks, car, no, not cars, car. Gifts, different kinds. Not one solicited for. And guess what? The guys who bought me a car, they have paid me thousands of dollars to even be able to attend the party, not the party, don't get me wrong, to attend the program that I have. So they paid for the program, and then they still bought the car. What am I trying to say? Changing your game involves your energy. Your energy, you must guide it. You must present it in a good light. And if there is anything that they want, those guys, if there is anything that they want to see excellence. Excellence at all times. I hope with these few words of mine, I've been able to confuse you. Is it convinced or confused now? Whichever one. And not confuse you. That your energy is what you need to change your game. I have changed my game. And in this country, Nigeria, I'm not sure there is anybody that puts a price on their product like I do from my industry. Okay, Samson sent me one invoice 2 days ago. I'm still considering that invoice. That invoice is mad. He said somebody just paid, so I'm expecting my 10%. Is it 10% or 5%? What am I trying to say? In the speaking industry, in the Nigerian speaking industry, I'm not sure there is anybody that puts a price on their product like I will put on. And he said, when you put a price on your product, it's a different ballgame when they pay. Watch out for the Dubai that is going to happen next month. Do the head count of the people who are going. You know you can't give people free ticket to come to Dubai. Do the head count of the people who are going. Then you understand what we're talking about. Your energy is the most important for you to change your game. And I believe that God will grant you that energy, and you will know what to do. You will know the circle to belong to, and you will know how to strengthen it. God bless you, and thank you for your time.
Once again, Nia Desoya, ladies and gentlemen, I think it deserves another round of applause. You know, I was saying when we were planning for the program that, is it Pastor Nee, you want to give less than 2 hours? And I'm sure you can see that even the time was not enough. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, have you learned something new? Really? Should we stop here? Eh. Ah. We still have Samson Davis in the house. I must say that today we have listened to four of Nigeria's, well, we have listened to three, we still listen to one, four of Nigeria's best speakers and coaches. I think they all deserve another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right, look at your neighbor and say, change your game. At this time, we'll go on a short break. We're still at the Zylus Group International Thanksgiving Conference and Awards Ceremony 2022. We still have in our midst the chairman of the Zylus Group International, one of the greatest investors in the Nigerian youth as far as the real estate industry is concerned. Once again, please appreciate with me Dr. Oluwatosin Olatujoye. At this time, I leave you in the hands of this beautiful band, the eminent band. They'll take us for the next 2 or 3 minutes just to relax a little, and we'll be back in your faces. Sit back and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we enjoy music to relax for 1 to 2 minutes, we sincerely want to apologize to those who are yet to get a seat. You know, sometimes they're just expecting something to be small, but it gets really big. But trust me, we're fixing it. Just give us some time. Enjoy as much as you can, and we're going to fix it very soon. Thank you so much.
Now that Dirty December is over, you're done chilling with the big boys. And now we are in the new year, and the reality has now dawned on each and every one of us. The question is, with all that planning, goal setting, and everything you've heard about investment for 2022, where do you want to start from? Now, come with me as I show you what chilling with the big boys in 2022 means. It means investing in a property that would give you peace. Either you want to own this property or even have it for rental income, all of those options are available for you right here at Lekki Pride 1. And yes, come with me, let's see what the development is like right here at Lekki Pride 1, located at Ajiwe bus stop by Abraham Adesoya. And yes, the development is so swift, the buildings are taking shape so fast, and here you're going to enjoy so many things, apart from the fact that it is in a serene environment where you would enjoy staying either by yourself, with family, loved ones, and friends. You would also enjoy facilities that are mind-blowing. Look at this right here. This is the solar-powered lights that would serve this estate, and this right here is planted across the estate. The estate is going to be very beautiful with recreational facilities. And yes, let me tell you, did you know that we also have the mall in this estate? A mall that will serve people living in this estate. How does that sound?
His Royal Majesty.
Offering time. You may be seated, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'm still very happy that even as sweet as the music is, all the women still have their wigs on. I think the women deserve a loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Why are you clapping? All right, at this time, we'll move to the next item on the program. But before we do that, I want to ask us one question. I know that there are a lot of landlords and landladies here. But I also know that before you can ever become a landlord or a landlady, you must have had a landlord or a landlady. My question now is that which one is better, landlord or landlady? Landlord or landlady? Why are all the younger girls saying landlord? No wonder your landlady does not like you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for the fourth speaker this evening on this august occasion, I'll leave you in the hands of the media. Thank you.
Meet our next speaker, Mr. Samson Davies. Mr. Samson Davies has about 17 years of broad-range work experience covering both consultancy and financial services. In 2018, he completed the Strategic Marketing Management Executive Program at the prestigious Harvard Business School, Boston, USA. He was key to managing the private placement activities of InvestCorp with MTN Nigeria, Starcoms, Reltel, and MTS Wireless. He thereafter founded Forbes Integrated Company Limited and worked with KPMG and Chapel Hill on the divestment of several bank-owned entities. He became the managing director of Investcorp Medicare Limited (HMO) in 2013 and a member of the Nigerian National Health Insurance Scheme delegation to the Netherlands to understudy the Dutch health insurance sector in 2014. Mr. Davies eventually joined the board of Nikon Group and became the director of marketing Nikon Insurance PLC, executive director of Nikon Luxury Abuja, and alternate director of Moneybox Africa, and presently serves as director of Business Conferences Limited, Synergy Tourism and Trips Limited, Forbes Integrated Company Limited, Arewa Health Maintenance Services Limited, Signature Advisory Limited, True Nigerian Experience Limited, as well as Group CEO Signature Group Limited. In 2019, his firm, True Nigerian Experience, partnered with the Nigerian Stock Exchange to rank Nigeria's biggest corporations, and by 2021, partnered the African Security Exchange Association to rank Africa's biggest corporations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on stage, Mr. Samson Davies.
Good afternoon, everyone. I greet you, sirs and ma'ams. The slide, please. So this evening or this afternoon, I'll be speaking very, very quickly on Nigeria's economic projection, but I'm not sure this is the environment for that. So I'll be very fast, very quick. I'll speak through and then dovetail to some quick points so we can fully get into the mood of why we are here, which is mostly the Thanksgiving and award and media matters. So please, can you project? Correct. So basically, I'm supposed to speak on Nigeria's economic projections and positioning for businesses in 2022. I wasn't told that I'll be meeting a jollofing and pepper souping moment. I thought we were coming for some masterclass session, you know, but we'll progress anyway. So please, next slide. So quickly, we'll look at executive summary of Nigeria's balance sheet. We'll look at Nigeria's 2022 budget breakdown. We'll look at the openings for public-private partnerships and exploring the African Continental Free Trade Area. The letterings are quite small, but in essence, when we talk about balance sheets, the same way we look at balance sheet for companies, we can look at balance sheet for countries. The very same Nigeria you and I belong, that a lot of us are likely tired, or you are looking for plan B or plan C, and then you are not very sure whether you should continue to use the 080 number, or you port to Canada like some of our very good friends have done, or you travel to the UK and then you refuse to come back, or you go to the United States and refuse to come back as well. So we look at what makes Nigeria Nigeria in terms of numbers. We look at, there's so many insinuations that goes around about Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that, we are so blessed, we are this, we are that. So quickly, I'll tell you that according to the IMF, if you scale Nigeria from a scale of 216 countries in Nigeria, in the world, Nigeria is ranked 29 and estimated at about $480 billion US from a global balance sheet of about 80 trillion. If you go further in that regard, you realize Nigeria is even way bigger than some of the countries you know. You look at the economies of Norway, Denmark, you look at the economies of Romania, Czech Republic, you look at the economies of Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. Nigeria is bigger than all of them. If you cross over to Asia and you look at, let's say, Southeast Asia, for an example, all the countries in Southeast Asia, Nigeria is bigger than all of them except Thailand and Indonesia. If you cross over to Europe, as I've said earlier, there are countries you and I would love to go to. There are countries you and I would appreciate more than Nigeria. But in excess, Nigeria far outweighs lots of countries even in the whole of Europe. And this goes for as far as Portugal, where Cristiano Ronaldo comes from. So, so far, the World Bank has projected us to grow at a pace of 2.7% in 2022. And then when you look at what makes our economy, about 4 items make the GDP of a nation. One of which is government spending, consumer spending, net exports, and investment. If you look at government spending for 2022, for an example, in 2020, we estimated about $35 billion, which was 11 trillion naira. In 2021, we estimated about $36 billion, which was 15 trillion. And in 2022, Nigeria is estimated to spend $41 billion, which comes from a 17 trillion naira balance sheet. Now, this is the estimated 2022 budget, so to speak. If you go further down, you talk about Nigeria's inflation, which is about 15.6%. If you cross over to countries with double-digit inflation, you have the same as Brazil, that's 10.06%. And even Ghana of 12.6%, but better than Ethiopia's, which is 35.1%, and Turkey of another 35.06%. Argentina is even worse. Inflation in Argentina is about 50%. But I'm very sure today, if you and I get visas to go to Argentina, we'll be excited. But it doesn't mean we can't do better as a nation. If an inflation rate of 15.6% is not something we should celebrate, neither is this something we should welcome. But these are part of what makes Nigeria Nigeria. Further down. Slide, please.
Just for I want to bring him down the nose.
Okay. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we would really appreciate if we can turn down the noise a little and concentrate on the presentation. Thank you.
That's true. No, go back. Can you come down a bit, please? Go further down, please. So I said earlier, Nigeria's current inflation rate is about 15.6%. We have our official exchange rate at 416.3 to $1, and total debt portfolio of about $91.3 billion. And that's when you sum up the external debt with the local debt, which is about 38 trillion as of September 2021. The figure as of December 2021 is not yet out, which will be released by the Debt Management Office. So when you hear issues like they are borrowing money, they are borrowing money, they are borrowing money, what does this portend for Nigeria? What does it portend for you and I? In essence, what they are telling you is that of a $480 billion economy, Nigeria only has, as at today, about $91.3 billion as debt. Further down. Slide, please. So when you look at our foreign reserve, as big as we are, we have a foreign reserve of about 9% of our GDP, which gives us a foreign reserve of about $41 billion, not even up to 10%. If you look at our crude oil price as at today, it stands at $94. Production of about 2.1 million barrels per day. So when you hear we make money from oil, as I speak to you, a barrel of oil today is estimated at about $94. So if Nigeria is able to produce about $2.1 million per day, if, underline that, Nigeria would make on the minimum about $197 million per day. If we're able to produce $2.1 million per day, we'll make about $1.4 billion per week. If we're able to make that on a steady income, we'll make about $5.9 billion per month, and in excess of $72 billion per year. But that's on the condition that oil will continue to sell at $94, which is the current price as at today, and that Nigeria will also be able to consistently sell about 2.1 million barrels per day, which is also not very possible. But in essence, what is feasible on the average has been between 1.5 and 1.8 million barrels per day. So if you look at that calculation of an average of $1.5 million per day, and you look at the budget benchmark for oil for the 2022 budget at about $62 for oil, it gives you on the average a $93 million per day. Then total per week $651 million and $2.8 billion per month. Throughout the year, we're expected to make around $33.9 billion per year, and that's on the average, on the condition that oil will continue to sell at either $62 or at $94, which is the current price as of today. Another, I won't say this is a tragedy, but another bandit figure is that we don't even know our estimated population. However, it's estimated that Nigeria has about 200 million people, with Lagos hovering around maybe 20 or 25, nobody knows, possibly until the next census. But at least we can hold on to the last figure, which gives Lagos an estimated population of about 20 million people. Scroll up. So if you look at the 2022 budget breakdown, it's estimated at $41 billion, which is 17.1 trillion naira. Of this 17.1 trillion naira, 6.8 trillion is projected to be spent on recurrent salaries of who you know, who I know in government. Their personal costs, traveling, what have you, will go up about 6.8 trillion. If you and I becomes even the president of Nigeria today, you can't reduce that figure. If you try to reduce that figure, they will shut down airports, shut down the rail, shut down water, and shut down everywhere. So irrespective of who comes to power, Nigeria must pay this amount annually as a recurrent cost. Irrespective, the most vocal voice in Nigeria today, if he becomes the president of this country, you must pay this money. Whatever makes you, some of the friends I have that got to government offices and decided on their own to either reduce the recurrent, either find themselves battling petitions, battling all kinds of challenges, battling all kinds of issues, or you get removed from office. So for everybody that heads one parastatal, one agency, or one state or the other, what you've come to realize is that if you want to have a good time as either president, governor, director general, MD, or whatever, you must make sure what all the directors and staff are entitled to in this 6.8 trillion goes to them. When you look at our capital expenditure, which are majorly infrastructure, roads, bridges, and other areas of development, we estimated that we'll spend 4.9 trillion. A debt service of about 3.9 trillion. And then statutory transfers of 768 billion naira in total. The aggregate revenue that is estimated is about 10 trillion naira. And then we have a deficit, a budget deficit of about 6.4 trillion, which would definitely be borrowed. What that implies is we have budgeted to spend 17 trillion. But from our projected revenue, we can only generate 10 or 10 point something trillion. In essence, it means we have to look for ways to make up the balance, which is the deficit of about 6.4, which is the reason why we borrow. So at any given time, it's about the same crisis, it's about the same challenge a company goes through. When you look at your account balance, and your bank balances are saying 10 million naira, and then the accountant is telling you we have 5 million naira obligation for diesel, we have 20 million naira obligation for salary, we have another 5 million check that is due here, we also need to service our bank loans of maybe another 5 million, and all you have is just 10 million naira. So by the time you take out your 10 million naira that you have at hand, away from what you are supposed to pay, it gives you a deficit, and you then begin to look for it. So how do you always fund your deficit? So there's no difference. There's not so much difference between a country and a company. So the difference in what you have versus what you also need to spend gives you an idea of what the deficit would look like. So as we speak today, for 2022, Nigeria will be looking at funding an extra amount of 6.4 trillion. So how do you project yourself as a business? You've been able to identify that even the country itself does not have the revenue to fund its own expenditure. And now this now gives room to opportunities for businesses to now collaborate with government. It is quite clear to everybody right now that in the absence of paying contractors by government to do infrastructure, they now have to look at what you have, what I have, and then collaborate with the organized private sectors. So one of what we'll be looking at, or one of what we should be looking at, are what are those areas that government cannot fund themselves, and where we can come in. The areas are endless. The opportunities lie from here to tomorrow. So rather than look at the government from a political angle, I would also like to advise us that we shouldn't get carried away with the elections. Most people I personally have supported before they became whatever they become, most of them will really not pick your call after the election. So don't waste your time supporting anybody for any election. Don't really dissipate your energy that you have one uncle or somebody is from your tribe And then, so because the person speaks the same language with you, you want to invest your time and money, you may end up broke or much more in debt than that person in particular. So as a country or as politicians face politics, you look at the aspect of your business and face it squarely. Let's not chase shadows. We've seen 20 years of democracy in Nigeria. We've seen both parties produce a president. We've seen the results from both parties. We've seen the results from a northerner. We've seen the result from a southerner. So what is the difference? So what I know that is sustainable, in my opinion, is nothing else but your business. But if you also have the slush funds to throw into politics, oh, good luck to you. But I must tell you that what is sustainable over time for you, your kids, or possibly your generation is business. And in that sense, I would encourage us here to look at areas where you can collaborate with even a local government chairman. We've seen at the federal level how they want to spend 17 trillion, but which is not available. From what is projected, Nigeria can only propose and project to raise or generate an aggregate of like 10 trillion. So the 7 trillion deficit has to come from somewhere. Now, where will this money come from? In the absence of borrowing, you and I can collaborate with government. In coming up with ideas and solutions, a company like ours decided to partner the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing with focus on an housing intervention fund, for an example. So in that area, in that regard, we'll be looking at what are the areas you personally can identify, either to do with the local government chairman, either to do with the state governor, or either to do with the federal government of Nigeria. After about 2 decades of Chinese lending spree to Africa, including Nigeria, even China itself is coming to reality that is no longer sustainable to continue to lend to Africa. And that is simple and direct. The frustration of China is also coming from the fact that lots of African countries are now defaulting, even in the debt given to them. And in that regard, there is now a U-turn being made by China to shift away from borrowing government to now borrowing private institutions. And that strategy and that approach did not just start today. The last time the president visited China, he went with the likes of Aliko. So there are 2 things you can look for in government coffers. You're either looking for contracts or you are looking at areas where you can benefit your business. So what I would advise is in the area of where you can operate and government is clearly lacking in both ideas and also lacking in finances. Therefore, project your investment, project your business. I can tell you it is easier to see the president when you have a solution to offer than it is easier to see the president for contract or appointment. One of the reasons why you see the likes of top business people have access to president and governors is because oftentimes they come with what they can do for the government. They come with areas where they can impact. They come with areas where they can collaborate and not necessarily to beg for appointment. So most times, what a lot of people that have access to these guys go for is either to beg, to be appointed. And those appointments, if Buhari appoints you today, of course, you might stay there for another 4 or 5 years. But technically, you may only be there for 2 years or less than 2 years. So, if you look at the approach China is going right now, China is shifting focus from lending to government to now lending to private institutions. And they did this 2 days ago in Lagos when the China-Africa Business Council signed a global agreement with the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry to further deepen China's interest in Africa. Government agencies like AMCON have significant fixed assets under them, requiring acquisition or joint venture. Let me explain that. Lots of people that took over bank loans and failed to pay have had to forfeit their assets to government agencies like AMCON. So when you look at the portfolio of AMCON, for instance, you have countless number of real estate properties in their custody. The Silverbird Group, for an example, are under AMCON's management. Several other businesses are under AMCON's management that require one funding or the other. More than 2 airlines are under AMCON's management. When I had interaction with one of the CEOs of the airlines, he made it very clear that AMCON will not fund the acquisition of new planes. But if you and I can acquire an aircraft, that airline is willing to fly that aircraft and share profit with you and I. So these are areas of collaborations. These are areas that are open to opportunities. Scroll up. Exploring the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. In the whole of Africa, we have about 1.3 billion of us. But of the 1.3 billion of us, what is the quality of that 1.3 billion people? And this is the reason why when 10 of us approach a foreign embassy, let's say an European embassy or the US embassy for visa, maybe they will consider 2 out of 10 or consider 3 out of 10. We really don't have the quality of citizens to approach a lot of countries. We really don't. Yes, we are many. Nigeria is an example. We're about 200 million people. But what is the quality of the 200 million population? Pastor Nee earlier spoke about the 1%, the 10%, or the 1% of the 1% and all that. What part of the pyramid are you? Are you part of the 1%, the 10%, or you are part of the remaining 90%? So it is good that we are big. It is good that we are many. But what is the quality of our numbers? You know, in terms of who are we, in particular. So when you look at the ACFTA agreement, for an example, the African Continental Free Trade Area is meant to sieve through the quality citizens who are only interested in business, who are not fascinated by the infrastructure of any country, who are ready to go from Nigeria to Ghana, from Ghana to Rwanda, from Rwanda to Botswana, from Botswana to South Africa. In fact, despite the xenophobic madness in South Africa, the government of South Africa is contemplating giving 10 years visa to business people. So in essence, what I'm saying is the objective of the African Continental Free Trade Area is to explore, seeks to facilitate the free movement of people, goods and people across the African continent. With countries like South Africa now exploring a 10-year visa plan for business people with effect from January 2022. What I'm saying in essence is the ACFTA agreement is there, which kicked off as far back as January 2020. An African embassy will be more interested in giving you a visa if your mission is for business. Whatever you do in Nigeria, for an example, the Ghanaian government will be willing to welcome you to issue you a visa, for instance, if visa was applicable between Nigeria and Ghana, than just coming to Ghana to snap pictures. The South African government, despite their xenophobic madness, they are ready to issue you a 10 years visa if you are coming for business. Nobody is interested in you want to come and snap picture, because they've seen people that came with the objective of snapping picture and ended up not going back to their own country. So the objective of the ACFTA is to facilitate the free movement of people, free movement of goods among Africans. The reason is because Norway citizens, Denmark citizens, UK citizens will fly into these countries, even US citizens. There are Chinese citizens all over the place, and they will give them visa. They will even give them residence permit to stay endlessly in those countries. Whereas they are here for a purpose. In countries of those nature, those people have been able to assemble people with technical skills. A lot of us here that are in the beauty industry, in the real estate or construction business, would rather prefer a Togolese or a citizen from Benin Republic to do your tiling than a Nigerian. Do you agree with me? And the reason is simple. They've invested a lot of skills and attention in doing those things. So they would rather give visa to a tiler than you that want to go and snap picture. Because to them, you will snap those pictures and end up not going back to your country. So in essence, opportunities like the African Continental Free Trade Area is there for us to explore, such that whatever wins, whatever success you've been able to record in Nigeria, you can replicate it in Ghana, you can replicate it in Burkina Faso, you can replicate it in Ethiopia, you can go to South Africa and replicate it there. The ACFT agreement is looking at people like Oluwatosin, that you don't have to come every 1 year to apply for visa. We'll give you 10 years, knowing fully well that your successes in Nigeria is what you are coming to replicate in South Africa, for an example. But imagine him going there to tell them that, sorry, I'm going to South Africa to snap photo. I want to go and do tourism. I want to know I'm coming to look how beautiful you are. So such that when you get there, you are screaming. You have no value to them. Yes, you will pay for certain things, you pay for hotel, you pay for your flight and all that, but they are tired of that. They want serious-minded business people. So if you are approaching embassies or you are approaching any country, they want to see the value you are coming to add to them. The plan is to unite the over 1.3 billion people in Africa for business and then create a potential of about 3.4 trillion economic bloc and support weaker economies as done by the European Union and the USMCA. Let me give you an example. To an average Nigerian, Greece is one of the most beautiful places in the world. But Greece as a country is badly in debt. To you and I, Portugal, where Cristiano Ronaldo comes from, is so fantastic. But Nigeria is even bigger than Portugal, not by size, but by value, by money. As lovable as Argentina will look to you and I, Nigeria is better than Argentina. I used to tell people, what I can make in Nigeria within a year, within a week, I can't make it in Argentina. The opportunities that are bound for me in this country does not abound for me in the US, nor does it exist in the UK. I can't ask anybody in the US to pay me 1,000 or 1 million naira or $10,000, but they pay me that money in Nigeria. So it is madness to think the moment you enter the aircraft from Nigeria and you land in France, or you land in US, or you land in UK, money will flow into your pocket. You are deceiving yourself. Even when you have the passport does not buy tickets. You still have to pay for your ticket. You have to pay in hotels. I have people that live in the US, I have people that live in the UK, that joins part of what they do for me, like helping me to even put my presentation together for maybe $200 or $500. To make that money in America, you will work about $7 per hour. Multiplied by the total number of hours you work in a week to make that $200 or $500 I will give you. So what I'm saying in essence is, if you look at the Henley Passport Index that allows a Japanese or a Singaporean to enter 192 countries for free, allows someone with a German or South Korean passport to enter 190 countries, allows somebody that has an American, UK passport, Belgium, Switzerland and Norway, 186 countries, while Nigeria passport has about 45 entries alongside Ethiopia and Myanmar. Yes, you and I can only access about less than 50 countries in the world without applying for any visa. But the truth is, both me and the Japanese that wants to go to the 192 countries, we pay for tickets. When it's time to pay for ticket, can he pay? I can pay to go to any countries of my choice today. But you that have access to 180 countries. Can you pay? Can you pay what I pay BA to fly? Can you pay 3 million naira with your British passport to fly business class for 5 hours? Can you? This is the only country where those opportunities exist, where you can make that kind of money from over 200 million people. So what I'm saying in essence is, it's not just about the color of the passport you carry or the part of the world where you reside. It also has to do with, by extension, and to a large extent, what you have to offer those people in those countries. Next slide. Next slide, please. So in essence, without wasting our time and without taking much of our time, I've been able to explain to you, despite the rowdiness of this place, that it is possible to survive and thrive in Nigeria.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very, very intellectual presentation. It's all about the figures and the numbers. And except we know where a country as Nigeria is planning to invest, the industry or field they want to invest or move money into for the year, you might not be cashing in on the flow. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the Zylus Group International Thanksgiving Conference and Awards 2022. In a minute or two, we'll go into one of the most important and flashy aspects of this beautiful day. And I know that somebody seated either to your left or to your right might be driving a Venza back home. The Venza they did not bring and the one they did not steal. Once again, I think this real estate firm, Zylus Group International, deserves a loud round of applause. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy.